Hey everyone, welcome back to Linux Art. Zorin easily is one of the best Linux distributions out there, especially if you're coming over from Windows or Mac OS. While it works great right out of the box, there are a handful of settings, tweaks and optimizations you really want to do right away to make it secure, fast and perfectly tailored to how you work. First things first, before we break anything, let's build a safety net. Zorin doesn't include Timeshift by default like for example Linux Mint does, but it's an absolute lifesaver. Open up your software center and we are searching for Timeshift. Timeshift is a system restore utility. It's taking snapshots from time to time of your system, and when your system or you by yourself mess something up, then you can revert to an earlier system snapshot. But if there's for production systems under 100 gigabytes available, I wouldn't recommend Timeshift because it's filling up a lot of disk space. But if you have the disk space, it takes around 100 gigabytes, I would say, for production use. I highly recommend you just doing it. It's a safety net. In our software manager, we just hit install at Timeshift. Then I open up Timeshift. We type in our password again. I hit authenticate and then we come to our snapshot type. Here I select rsync, that is fine. We select our snapshot location. We see here again how much disk space is free. We go to the next point. Here we can select between different snapshot levels, and I highly recommend you just doing monthly keep 2. Maybe if you want weekly as well. But normally it's completely fine to have very low automatic backups that then doesn't use a lot of your hard drive, and it's only the last option you want to use. So my personal recommendation, monthly keep 2 and you are completely fine. I go to next and then we could include some user directories. Please don't do that. We leave it like this is here. So we go next and then the setup is complete. I hit finish and there we are. On the next full hour, our Timeshift snapshot will be created. And this is from now on done very automatically. If you are changing a lot on your system at a specific point, then it's completely fine to also do a manual snapshot by create. You can do this very easily. It's completely fine if you do an additional snapshot next to the regular ones. Next, let's make sure your hardware is actually running at 100%. Click your start menu here and we search for software and updates. We want this tool here and we want to go to the additional driver sections here. And there it is searching for additional drivers. This is especially critical if you have an NVIDIA graphics card or specific Wi-Fi chip, because here you could choose to use this graphic card or the Wi-Fi chip. When there's nothing, that's completely fine as well. But otherwise you could choose using other drivers, for example, the proprietary NVIDIA driver. I close this window again and we now configure automatic updates. We get the software updater, for example, in the very beginning when we start our computer. I highly recommend you doing those updates, but Zorin OS will keep asking from time to time, hey, should I install some updates? And we can completely automate this. What I highly recommend you is enabling the full automatic updates. We can do this with a special program if we want, and this is called the Linux Assistant. I put you the link to the Linux Assistant in the description. This is a daily Linux helper with a powerful integrated search as well, and also some routines and check, and it also does very nice automatic updates, for example. So I hit download DEB. We want to use this for Zorin OS, and then I save this one. And we open this file up just by clicking on it. It asks us, are you sure to run Linux Assistant dep? This is fine. I run anyway. We are waiting for a couple of seconds and then I hit install. That's fine. I type in my password. There we are. I open up the Linux Assistant. Of course, you can just open it up from the menu right now, just searching for Linux Assistant. And you can read this if you want, but that's fine. What we want to do are the first steps after installation. This is a perfect thing to do. So I go to the first steps here. We hit let's start to our new Linux machine. That's fine. And there we can choose between different browsers we want to install. I highly recommend you installing a second backend web browser, for example, Firefox or Chromium. I personally go with Firefox now because we also have Brave installed by default. So Firefox would be a nice additional option, I would say. So I hit next, and then the Linux assistant is loading the next page. Office selection, we have LibreOffice pre-installed. If you want to set up LibreOffice for Microsoft Office formats and wanted to make it work better, have a look into the video description. I made a video about this, and then we hit next. And there we see some communication software we can install. I highly recommend, for example, Thunderbird is a mail client if you want it. I hit next, and then there will be maybe another screen when the video comes out because Linux Assistant is getting an update. We can activate a hotkey, we don't have to do it. And now we want to go to the automatic configuration. This is what we want to do, especially here in the automatic configuration. We could also choose the automatic setup of Timeshift. We already have done this, so we don't need this anymore. So I can just click on it and remove the check mark here. We can update the system to the latest version. I highly recommend you install multimedia codecs and automatic update manager configuration. This is why we are here for. I go to the next one, and then our authentication is required. And then, yeah, the Linux Assistant is doing all the stuff magically. And if you want to know what Linux Assistant is actually doing, you could just hit show commands, and then you see all your commands you also could have done on your own, and you even could copy those commands. After a few minutes, we are done, and I go next, and this is it. We configured now a lot with Linux Assistant. This is perfect. What we can also configure with Linux Assistant is we can also check some things, and for example, the security check. So I just type in security, here we have it, and I type in my password, authenticate. Now it's analyzing our system security, and here we have a few things. On Zorin OS we have two things to bother about, but only one thing is where we want to do some action. So it has discovered a additional software source. This is the Brave browser. The Brave browser is installed by Zorin OS by default, and they also have this additional software source. This is completely fine, then Linux Assistant just doesn't know it yet, that Zorin OS has also an additional software source. We can ignore this message here. Where we want to take action is the network security. Your firewall is inactive. We can activate this by simply clicking on fix here. So I go fix, I type in my password again, and then it should configure the firewall. Very nice. I type in my password again for analyzing the system security again, and then this should be done. Very nice. We have enabled our firewall. Of course, you can go to your firewall settings just by opening up your menu, and there we have the firewall configuration. I also did a whole video only about firewalls for Linux. If you want to get more information about firewalls in Linux, just head a look to the video description. Let's come to another thing, and this is about the software center. Zorin OS is amazing in that point because it bundles everything together. Standard Ubuntu packages, Flatpaks, and so-called snaps. Those are three different application formats Zorin OS is supporting. There are not many distributions which are supporting those three right out of the box. So when we search, for example, let's search for Spotify, we will find this Spotify and we will find this Spotify. When we go to the first Spotify, we see the source here, right under the install button. Here we see the source FlatHub. And if we go back and we go to the other Spotify, we see something else, and this is the Snap Store. But there's a third format, and this is, for example, when we search for Firefox. We see three different Firefoxes. The first one installed is the Zorin OS one. This is the Ubuntu package format. The next one is also Zorin OS, sorry for that. There we might have Snap, okay, and there's also somewhere a FlatHub Firefox. So those are, for example, 3 options. And what priority would I recommend you? I personally recommend you, if you have multiple options, choosing the Zorin OS package, or the APT package, so-called. This is the most stable one and is most fitting to your current Linux distribution. But that might be a bit older in terms of functionality. In terms of security, I would say most of the software you get via the Zorin OS packages are completely fine. You don't have to bother about that. But if you don't find any Zorin OS package for it, I would choose the Flathub. For example, here we see it again. It is the Flatpak option. This is a package format which is not only used by Zorin OS, not only used by Ubuntu or Linux Mint, but also used, for example, from Fedora or OpenSUSE. It basically runs everywhere. This is very cool. And this is kind of the central Linux app store. And in the end, we also have the so-called Snap Store. The Snap Store is just like Flatpak, but only for Ubuntu. So I would say this is the least considered option many Linux users choose. But if you just find a Snap, this is also fine. There are also arguments for Snap, but we won't get into detail for this video too much. Now we go to the next section, and this is our desktop. We could personalize it. There's a great tool, the Zorin installed. This is called Zorin Appearance. We can just open it up out of the menu here on the right side, and there we can choose between different desktop layouts. We could choose, for example, a more Windows XP style. We could choose some very modernized desktop layout where we just have a show app menu here where we go to the full screen, kind of. It's more mobilized. By the way, we can always open up such a mobilized menu by pressing the Windows key, and there we get a big search. We could just type in, for example, we can find many different things, the applications, some settings, some software to install, clocks, characters, and more. You could also choose, for example, some calculations, for example, 4 plus 4. This is 8. We see it here. Nice. So this thing can also calculate. We could also choose a very minimalized desktop setup. This is just the taskbar up here, and you might want to use the Windows key for everything, for opening everything up, for searching, or for also discovering your apps by just clicking on that one. So you could choose whatever you want. I go back to the default one. I guess most of you want to use the default one. You could also get more desktop layouts, but this is where you can use Zorin OS Pro. If you want to support the project, that's completely fine getting Zorin OS Pro, but you really don't have to if you don't want to. You could choose many different things like theme. You can choose a different accent color. If you want a nice purple, for example, that's also fine, okay. But yeah, I keep it to the default here. This is it for Zorin Appearance. Let's come to the next point. Change the wallpaper. Zorin ships with some of the most stunning high quality dynamic wallpapers in the Linux world. So you can right click anywhere on the desktop and you can choose change background, and here you can choose between different backgrounds, and there are also some night backgrounds. This is very nice because when it turns night, this gets dark. This is really fine, to be honest. I really like that, but of course you could choose between different very nice layouts. Of course you can also add your own pictures. I stick to the default one today. One next thing I kind of recommend is activating a hot corner, and we can do this by going to the settings, and in the settings we can go to multitasking. This is up here, and here we can activate a hot corner. If we activate that hot corner and we go to the left top corner with our mouse, we get this default overview where we can choose between all the windows. We can also, for example, move one window to the right to the next workspace, kind of. You could choose between those different workspaces. Very nice. But you can also search for many applications. Also, now we go to the settings window again. What I also highly recommend you is the active screen edges. When we enable this one and we put our window to the left side, we can see it snaps to the left side if we now release the mouse button, and if I open up the browser and we just, for example, put it to the right side, we have this one. Very, very nice. There are also more options, and this is a cool thing about Zorin OS. If you just move your window up to the top, you see some different layouts where you could rearrange it. I don't use them a lot, but it's a nice idea. And if you just go completely to the top with your mouse, you just maximize your window. Now we may want to adjust the date time formatting. We see June 26. In my case, it's 10:20. By default, the clock in the bottom right might be missing some information you want. If we want to set this up, we can search for time, for example. Then we go to the date and time settings. We want to have this here, and there you can choose the time format. For example, I personally want to have the seconds displayed. I really like that. Some don't like that. That's completely fine. And what I also can recommend is showing the weekday, that you know what day of the week do we have, and also the week numbers. I'm also a big fan of those. So if I now click on the clock here, we also see our week numbers. Very nice. Highly recommend this one. This is basically it. There's one last thing I want to show you. We spoke about the dark background a few minutes ago. If you want to enable it, you could go to this system settings menu here. You can also shut down your computer with this button. This is nice, but we could also go and change to the dark style, and then everything changes to the night style. Really like this, especially for example, if you open up the file manager, everything is now dark. Very, very nice. Highly recommend you just trying this out. This is a nice feature of Zorin OS. I also can disable the dark style, and then we are back again in the bright style. And there you have it. We did plenty of things today. I would recommend to do after installing Zorin OS to take it from a fresh install to a personalized, secure, and absolute powerhouse of a daily driver. Honestly, the beauty of Linux is that you don't have to do all of these today. Take your time, experiment, and mold the system to your specific workflow. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. Drop a comment down below letting me know what your absolute first tweak is when you install a new Linux distribution and which tip you found the most helpful one. If you want more Linux videos and tutorials about Linux and open source, just like this one, make sure to hit subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.